Boy, were you anywhere from January to March of 2020. Some of you may have been stranded abroad, trying to go home, or just trying to make it through the pandemic. Well, at the start of 2020, I was on vacation with my family during our Chinese New Year holiday. Things had gotten relatively bad with COVID in Shenzhen. Therefore, my family decided to purchase tickets to fly out to Vietnam, as that is where we lived prior to moving to Shenzhen. On the day of the flight, my sister and I woke up to news from our parents that the borders of entry to Vietnam had been shut and that we were now going to Miami. My sister and I were pretty happy about the news, as this meant we were going to see family that we hadn't seen in 3 to 4 years. Basically, we were in Miami for around a month and returned around a month later, just before the borders of entry to Shenzhen closed. However, something that seems to have me thinking and sort of bothering me is the idea of how different my life would be to this day if my family would have booked the flight to Vietnam a day before the borders shut, or if my family would have not made it back on time before the borders to Shenzhen closed. Have any of you in the audience today ever made a decision so straightforward or small, similar to the one I just shared, that can completely change the course of your life? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call the chaos theory. The chaos theory, or what is also commonly referred to as the butterfly effect or the computer glitch, is how a small change can result in a big difference in a delayed state. The chaos theory was originally a complicated mathematical theory focusing on the study of chaos and showing the limitations of prediction, and how some systems can be extremely sensitive and can't exactly be predicted correctly. Similar to the weather, we can't 100% know what the weather will be like until a few days or hours prior. One famous metaphor I really like about the butterfly effect or the chaos theory states, a butterfly flapping its wings in Mexico can cause a tornado in Texas. Now, this poetic figure is not saying that the butterfly has the power to directly cause the tornado. No, what this poetic figure is trying to imply is the flap of the butterfly wings can cause a tornado, as it has the power to set off multiple escalating events. Some well-known film examples that correlate and talk about the chaos theory include Marvel Cinematic Universe's show on Disney Plus called What If. What If is showing important moments in the MCU being changed. The movie franchise called The Butterfly Effect, and finally the 1998 film called Sliding Door. Sliding Door and Butterfly Effect both have an excellent way of showing chaos theory in a story-like way. All these movies include great quotes and also have a great way of showing chaos theory, as these movies present a hypothetical situation that demonstrates how small differences can lead to long and unexpected consequences. These three films taught me a lot about this phenomenon and even helped persuade me to do a TED Talk about the chaos theory. An article from Forbes on chaos theory even talked about it as the quantum theory shows randomness, or as Einstein put it, dice rolling. But the weather is a large-scale effect, as it can be unpredictable, as I previously mentioned before. You may be wondering, so what? What do you want me to do with all this information? What am I taking out from this talk? How does some of this information apply to my life? To questions like these or similar ones to them, I would say that I want you and want everyone listening to this talk to welcome uncertainty in their life. Embrace change as a necessary part of the process. Learn from some of your mistakes at both experiences and decisions that carry positives and negatives, and begin taking more planned risks in your life. Thank you for listening.